Hi there, hope you're all well. Look forward to doing some yoga with you this week. But before we begin, I wanted to give you a little bit of homework for you to do between sessions. Now, the intention is not for this to be arduous and sort of punishing. It's really to get you into a little rhythm with your yoga practice and for that to be something that you can go to for support. And the more regular it is, the more support you'll get from it. So I'm keeping it really simple. It's not going to be very long. I like to practice outside, so hence, I'm outside, but of course you can be indoors. I would recommend a bolster or blocks for this, or cushions, and I have a blanket as well. Yes, intention for us to be about 15 minutes, but as you know, my timing isn't always amazing, so perhaps a little longer or a little shorter. And really for it to be enjoyable. So if you're working at home, sometimes it's kind of nice to put a little piece of music on to sort of create a vibe. I'm outside because I've got all the birds and things like that, so that really works for me. I also really like burning essential oils or incense, so again, that's maybe something that would be really lovely to do, just to create the sense of a space. So we're keeping it really simple. It's just 5 poses and none of them too troubling, and it's a little bit of a flow. So we'll start in child pose. And we're using the bolster. If you've got cushions would do too. I'm going to put my blocks to one side. Bringing the bolster between my legs. The blanket is good if you suffer from cramp in the feet, if you overarch in the feet. So you could put blanket underneath the feet, and that will, take some of the discomfort away. You can also sit on something as well if your bum doesn't come to your heels. So you can put the blanket under your bum. So those are options. Do use them. Do experiment. And then we're going to just come down over the bolster and enjoy that feeling of just sort of resting your body. So, just as we do in any class or practice, just begin to notice your breath, begin to notice how you're feeling in your body, in your mind. And if there is any discomfort, can you adjust? Can you adjust something to be more comfortable? I'm going to move my knees a bit wider. Or maybe it's just sort of taking a deeper breath and perhaps rolling onto the side of your head rather than forehead. So we're going to move from child pose to downward dog, and we're going to be really careful and thoughtful about how we do that. So spread the fingers, press down through your hands, make sure that every joint is active, and then you can come onto your knees, you can tuck your toes under, take your bum back towards your heels, and then lifting into downward dog. So it's good to bend the knees here, but if your shoulders are really sore, perhaps you want to take your feet closer to your hands. can, for anyone wanting a little bit stronger, you can, of course, you can straighten the legs, you can lift the heels and lower the heels. You can lift the sitting bones as though they're going to press up towards the sky. So we're going to move into something a little stronger. So we're going to take the right foot, step it forward and down. And the bolster's good here. So we're going to use the bolster to support us, hands onto the bolster. And don't let the hip roll around here. We're keeping it kind of neatly aligned with the knee. So just take a few more breaths here. If you enjoy this pose and you want to go deeper, you can bring your hands onto the bolster, or maybe you'll come to the floor, but I'd suggest stay with the bolster. We're going to come into something a little stronger here. So we're going to bring the hands back down to the floor. We're going to tuck the toes of the back foot under, coming into a pyramid pose. So please don't go too low. If you're finding this a bit challenging, hands can stay on the thigh. We have straight legs, but of course if you need to bend them, bend them. Think long in the spine, so rather than rounding down, better to go long, keep moving the spine, crown of the head forward, rather than sort of a rounding shape. And then the bolster's helpful if you got, just to put your support into something. That feels really good sometimes. We're going to take forward fold. So we're going to, from here, take the back leg forward. So both feet together, and then down, forward bend. So don't go too low, especially if you're feeling really dizzy. If you're very comfortable coming down, dropping the head, then of course go there. Bend the knees if you need to. And then we're stepping back in a moment. So we're going to take that left foot back. So we're coming back into that lunge. And again, you can use the bolster, come low, press into it, take support from the bolster. Especially if your hips are sore, it will mean there's less strain on the hips, and you can relax, and then you can get better results when you're relaxed. From here we'll come back into the pyramid, so we're going to tuck the toes of the back foot under. Again, use the support from the bolster. We're stepping forward, so we've got straight legs. If you don't need the bolster, obviously you can, stay high on the leg, or think long in the spine. We're not going to round the back here. It's not a sort of cat pose, it's a long, straight sense of lengthening. Make time to breathe. Enjoy. And then we're coming out into a downward dog. So you'll need to bend your knees, bring your hands down, step back into your downward dog. The bolster is really nice sometimes here. You can bring your head down onto the bolster. Or if that doesn't work, you could have blocks as well, so you've got your head resting on something. And then we're going to come to our resting position, so all the way back down to kneeling. And if you enjoyed something under the feet, take your little bit of support for the feet. Blocks are, maybe optional if you don't quite come down onto the bolster. Otherwise, put them to one side, and then just slowly lowering your body. Listening to your breath here. Make an adjustment if you need to. If you're not feeling quite comfortable, it's fine to adjust. So my intention is for you to practice that and make adjustments, get the kit together, and for that to be something that you do every day for a week as a little bit of homework. It's just an experiment. It's so far 13 minutes, so it's not a huge commitment of time. You might feel that your body can perform, it's almost too easy for your body. So then the challenge for you is to be really patient with that, and see if you can explore and find depths within it. And there's always interesting things to learn in even the simplest of yoga practices. So but mainly it's just to get a rhythm, find a rhythm. That's something that you can do every day. I think it's, from what I know of you all, I think this is within your totally within your physical abilities, and the challenge therefore is more around making the practice, making the commitment, making the time, and being regular with that, and being patient with yourselves, and bringing into the practice all those principles that we talk about, contentment and non-grasping, all the interesting principles in yoga that we will look at more as the weeks go past. But for now, just getting that little rhythm of committing to a little sort of 10-15 minute practice every day.